Recently on my channel, a video that I posted about a whole year ago has absolutely blown up, but reading the comments of that video, I noticed a lot of you mentioning the name Jobutsu. One comment on the video reads, "I think Jobutsu 2000 is scarier than First Pie. Jobutsu is dark and depressing, while First Pie is just some ticking, laughter, and screams of excitement, and then just some music. And then the starting noises at the end but reversed. Jobutsu on the other hand is about and repeating numbers which lead up to and kill everyone." Which, as much as that doesn't really make grammatical sense, it got me pretty interested, because that definitely sounds a bit more dark than Miku busting it down over some classical music. During my research, I found out that in Taiko no Tatsujin, songs are released in their own separate series, and Jobutsu 2000 was released in a series of songs that all ended in the number 2000. Each one of these 2000 series songs were released with each release of a Taiko arcade cabinet. Out of every 2000 series song, it said that Jobutsu is the hardest Taiko song out of like every song. You can only really complete this song if you spent hours and hours of training, which makes complete sense when you see you have to complete sequences of beats like this. Which would have to take insane skill. During my research, I came across a website called Taiko Time, which had a whole page dedicated to the 2000 song series. Now, as I was reading the Jobutsu description, I came across a very interesting paragraph. It reads, "The title, Jobutsu, means to die peacefully or go to heaven. The lyrics are in complete French, and it denotes a sad but contented person before his death, giving up everything and moving on, but with deep joy and contentment." After reading this, I was curious as to how it tells the story of a person dying but feeling content with what was about to happen. As I looked into the translation of the lyrics, there's two specific things that are repeated over and over: "I'm hungry" and a sequence of numbers in French. After reading these lyrics, I can see where they're coming from though after reading this part of the song. When we put an end to things, it is up to us to decide. We have to be strong, but most of the time that is not dictated by us, that is told to us when everything ends. This part of the song definitely sounds like it's coming from a person not particularly happy with what's about to happen, but is content and okay with it. But "I'm hungry"? What's up with a random sequence of numbers? Surely they have some sort of deeper meaning, right? Well, while I was researching these numbers, I came across a pretty interesting Wikipedia article talking about Japanese wordplay. In the article, it reads, "Japanese wordplay relies on the nuances of the Japanese language and Japanese script for humorous effect. Double entendres have a rich history in Japanese entertainment due to the language's large number of homographs and homophones." And with that in mind, as you listen through the song, you can hear what seems to be a faint voice saying a sequence of numbers in French, like I mentioned earlier. 3, 7, 5, 6, 4. Now, why are these numbers so special? Well, if you translate these numbers into Japanese, it reads mi na go ro shi. And in Japanese, that translates to kill everyone or Now, if that isn't already condescending considering this is a song that is just in a family-friendly rhythm game, what if I told you it went deeper than that? So let's talk about the main interpretation behind the song. I found this interpretation on a Reddit post by the Reddit user Tristan, asking everyone what their interpretations are for the story of Jobutsu. And trust me, when I said I searched absolutely far and wide on as many Japanese and English forums for where they got this interpretation from, I couldn't find any. But when you hear it, it kind of makes sense. So going off what this Reddit user was saying, one interpretation of the song could be that the song is about a person whose house was set on fire in an act of arson, which could definitely be a good interpretation because throughout the song's entirety you can hear a quiet crackling of what seems to be fire. It's very quiet at the start of the song, but it gets much louder and much more obvious by the end.
5, 6.
Now, while the house was burning down, it said that the father of the protagonist was killed in that fire, and after this happened, the protagonist sought revenge on the people that burnt down his house, hence the repeating numbers translating to massacre or kill everyone. But in the end, they failed in seeking revenge, and were game ended by walking in front of a train, hence the final Don sound effect that would be symbolizing the collision, which is then followed by a long flute, which would symbolize the train's horn blaring after what just happened. which is a very, very dark interpretation for this song that at a first glance just seems like a bunch of random noises put together. But after hearing this interpretation, I looked absolutely everywhere for even one forum, like I said before, talking about the lore of Jobutsu and why it would include the father burning inside the house. I guess that part of the story doesn't really add up to me, but if you have any sort of clarification, please let me know in the comments. But everything else does kind of make sense when you look at it like that. There is no official explanation, this is pretty much just a theory, but for now it's the best I could find and it definitely seems the most convincing. If you guys have a better interpretation or if I messed up any details, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments because I'm really interested in the whole lore behind this song, but it was kind of disappointing that I couldn't find as much as I'd wished.